The moment you stop dancing to a narcissist tune, everything changes. Not slowly, not quietly, almost instantly. The version of them you once knew can suddenly disappear, and in its place comes someone colder, sharper, and desperate to regain control. That's the part most people never see coming. At first, they loved how available you were. Every reply, every explanation, every second chance. It made them feel powerful. But the second you begin pulling your energy back, the second you stop chasing their approval, they start feeling something they can barely tolerate: irrelevance. And for someone who survives on control and attention, being ignored feels unbearable. And one subscriber shared something that perfectly explains this shift. She said there was a time when she would spend years trying to keep the peace with her partner. Every argument ends with her apologizing, even when she did nothing wrong. If he ignored her texts, she panicked. If he pulled away emotionally, she worked harder to win him back. One day, something inside her shifts. She stops begging for communication, stops over-explaining, stops reacting to the silent treatment. And suddenly, he changes. Now he's texting constantly, calling repeatedly, posting things online meant to get her attention, acting overly charming one moment, then angry the next. Why? Because the puppet stopped moving. The strings no longer work. That's what happens when a narcissist realizes you're no longer emotionally available for manipulation. What confuses many people is this: narcissists often act confident, but underneath that image is an extremely fragile ego. They depend on reactions from others to feel important. So when you become emotionally detached, calm, and harder to control, it creates panic beneath the surface. Sometimes they respond with guilt trips. You've changed. You don't care anymore. After everything I did for you? Other times, they try to provoke you just to get any emotional reaction at all. Anger, tears, defensiveness. To them, even negative attention feels better than silence, because silence reminds them they no longer have power over your emotions. And when that doesn't work, some will suddenly become unbelievably kind again. They may act like the person you first met. Thoughtful messages, unexpected compliments, fake self-awareness, promises to change. But often, it's not about healing the relationship. It's about restoring access to your attention. The hardest part is accepting that your peace may irritate people who benefited from your confusion. A narcissist expects you to stay emotionally hooked forever. They expect endless chances, endless forgiveness, endless access to your mind. So when you quietly reclaim your boundaries, they can interpret it as betrayal instead of growth. But here's the truth most survivors eventually learn: your silence is not cruelty. Your distance is not weakness. And protecting your emotional stability does not make you selfish. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is stop explaining yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you. Because once you stop reacting, the illusion starts cracking. Their control weakens. Their tactics become more obvious. And for the first time, you begin seeing the relationship clearly instead of emotionally. That clarity changes everything. And yes, some narcissists eventually move on when they realize they can no longer control the narrative. Others may intensify their efforts for a while. That's why protecting your mental and emotional well-being matters more than proving a point. The goal is not revenge. The goal is freedom. If this message spoke to something you've experienced, share your thoughts below. Your story might help someone else finally recognize what they've been living through in silence. And if you're new to TF, subscribe and stay with us for more conversations that help you understand the deeper patterns behind difficult human behavior. This content is created for educational and awareness purposes only and is not intended to diagnose any individual or replace professional mental health guidance.